that game seemed to flip after halftime.
Yeah, I mean, that was our discussion at halftime. I challenged our starters. I thought our starters were awful in the first half. I thought our bench came in, gave us some life, got us back in the game. Then to close the first half, we went back to our starters, and it was a three-point barrage. We didn't defend anybody, and they didn't feel us. And that was a conversation. That was a clips. That was a challenge. And I'm proud of our guys because they answered the bell, and we forced them to call the first time out in the third quarter. And just listen to the second half numbers, including overtime. 58 points allowed, 39% from the field, 31% from the three-point line. We had 32 assists, only 9 turnovers. We scored 80 paint points, which is a ridiculous number of points in the paint. And I thought Will Barton down the stretch in overtime was clutch, making his free throws. I think he had 8 of our 16 overtime points. That's that challenge, Mike. I mean, we keep on talking about it, but in the second half we defended, we won the game. Hopefully tomorrow against this same team, we don't have to wait until second half to get our defense going.
We'll go to Harrison Wynn.
Hey, Michael, all year we've talked about Monte as just kind of that model of consistency. What was maybe the biggest thing that stood out about his night tonight to you?
I mean, it's not surprising, Harrison. I mean, I think Monte is he's been incredible. I mean, off the bench for us. And, tonight he plays 32 minutes, 17 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. His ability to know when to attack, know when to get off the ball, make a play for somebody else, his competitive spirit on the defensive end of the floor, and just his overall confidence right now. I mean, Monte Morris, I'm so thankful, he signed that contract extension. He's been a really important piece of what we've done here these last 2 years. And I just love how confident and aggressive he's playing. And we've said that for a couple of years now. When Monte plays like that, he's a difference maker. And that's how he's played every night for us, which is great to see. Monte is the Pied Piper. Everybody loves that kid, has a huge amount of respect for that kid, as do I.
Go to Joel Rush.
Hey, Coach. I was looking at some numbers, and pretty consistently over the past few seasons, the Nuggets have limited the frequency of above the break three-pointers pretty well, but the corner threes have been a pretty high frequency. So just wondering about the defensive scheme and if that is a challenge specifically for your type of defense.
Yeah, the way we play pick and rolls, we open up ourselves a little bit to the corner three. But 2 years ago, we had the number 1 3-point defense in the NBA. Obviously, last year we dropped the middle of the pack. And as of right now, obviously, we're not anywhere close to being where we need to be. The weird thing for me is that within every game, there is such a drastic up and down between quarter to quarter, half to half. As I mentioned, in the first half, they were 11 of 25 for 44%. In the second half, plus overtime, they were 6 of 19 for 31%. We've shown we can do it. We've shown that we have the ability to be the best in the NBA at doing it. The challenge is, Joel, to do it a lot more consistently and as close to 48 minutes as possible. And when our guys lock in on that end, because that second quarter was we were just letting them shoot. I think Mikal Bridges had 5 threes in the first half, didn't miss. So it's just a greater awareness, greater discipline, and greater multiple effort.
Oh, Todd Romero.
Hey, Coach, you really looked down the stretch and you guys needed a bucket and things were back and forth. That obviously you went to the big guy down low in Nicole. I thought the team was very patient in trying to find him down low.
Well, he's one of the best closers in the game. I mean, obviously the last 3-4 years, we've been one of the better late game teams. We've had our struggles this season. But Jamal and Nicole have proven time and time again to never be afraid of the moment and never be afraid of taking the big shot. And, Nicola's our best player, man. We're going to play through him, give him the ball, knowing he's going to make the right play. I thought Jamal's energy in that third quarter was infectious. I think everybody kind of fed off of that. Gary, Will, Paul, Nicola. But, yeah, down the stretch, Nicola's going to have the ball, and we trust him 1,000% to make the right play.
Go to Ryan Blackburn.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned the 80 points of the paint. It felt like there was a lot of control and consistency attacking the rim tonight and doing exactly what the team needed to do. Gary Harris and Will Barton specifically just looked like different players out there, just attacking with reckless abandon. What gives you what changes about this Nuggets team when Gary is attacking the way he is and Will is attacking the way that he is?
Well, I think, we've made shooting more threes a point of emphasis, shooting more paint threes, more corner threes a point of emphasis. And it's a fine line because you also want to play with an attack mode mentality. And, when we have transition opportunities, I want our guys thinking attack, not settle. In the half court, if your jump shot's not going, we couldn't buy a three tonight. I thought Monte Morris hit a huge three for us late in this game. We only made 6 out of 26. So when your jump shot's not going, you got to find other ways to score. And getting to the basket, putting pressure on the rim, getting to the free throw line are all easy ways to do that. So when we're attacking, you mentioned Gary, you mentioned Will, whether it's Jamal Murray, Monte, PJ, Facu, you're a lot harder to defend. Instead of just playing soft around the perimeter, you're putting pressure on the defense, you're putting pressure on the paint and on the rim. And obviously tonight we had a terrific night in the paint.